Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So as I said yesterday, I have a little time off in the next couple weeks here, and I have some other stuff I'm doing, but I'm trying to get through some of this research as well. Um, and let me just say before I start this, we see the trend. We realize there's, considerably more interest if we find something than there is in the rest of this process, and I understand that. In fact, I thought about just posting the findings themselves and skipping the process, but the minute we did that, somebody would start asking how we came to that conclusion. This way, if somebody asks, all we have to do is link a video or three, um, and we don't have to go into trying to explain how we got to a conclusion. For instance, who's probably using a quantum computer that changed something, or if something was a shift. All right. And um so I want to thank and that's the other thing, thanking those who are following along. There are those following along, so even though it's only a few, even if I could get away with only posting the findings, there are a few people that are interested in the process and how we come to these conclusions. So we're doing, now we're going to get into it because there's a little bit to cover and there's something really, really interesting here. We're doing Star Wars. All right, Luke to know, Luke, I am your father. No, I am your father. R2D2's gold leg changed to silver. If you're following along, you know we broke that down to its atomic number and took that atomic number and crossed the sevens off because they were the same, and we're left with 9-4, and brought IRDMV, so you had LUKENOIRDMV. We got those letters to go forwards and backwards in the stock market, genetics, chemicals, random hits, translations even, although the translations we haven't exactly done a video on by themselves. But we did mention drinking water laboratories, remember? We found in there. And we broke these numbers down to numerological numbers, and you had 33255699444. And I noticed yesterday, right when I was doing a video, that you had, if you took this, you had, let me just show it to you. Let me just do this for you guys. I'll show you what I saw. That'll make it a little easier to see. 33559944, a sequence of the same numbers, right? 33559944, followed by a single number in between each number, although this is a 4. Doesn't really matter. And I'll get to that in a minute because we're gonna do both of these at once, because I went ahead and ran those numbers, guys, and it's really, really interesting what happened. But first, let's try to get through these random hits with these numbers. And I'll provide links, guys. Some of them might be the searches. I'm not sure how I'm going to run this because these random hits didn't go pages and pages of relevant stuff like the genetics and chemicals did. And the stock doesn't either, by the way. That's pretty much limited to one or two things, too. But randomly, this 3325, when you're starting, ends up being 31 U.S. Code 3325 vouchers in U.S. law. So it's a code for voucher, or a U.S. code to get vouchers. Desert Research Institute, right? Research needs funding. 3325 also is 5 U.S. Code 3325, appointments to scientific and professional positions. Imagine that. A research institute, that's what we think, and I'm leaning real towards that, guys. I'm pretty much calling it. Regardless of what these numbers do against the institutions, there is a whirlwind of evidence around this Desert Research Institute using a quantum computer here, in my opinion. So, then you have this 5699 is next, and that ends up being an IRS letter. All right, and you have several hits of what to do if you get that letter from the IRS. 5699 also is PSMB10 gene ID 5699, and so there you go. You got a gene in there in the random hits. Didn't necessarily come up in our genetic search, so there it is. Then you're left with 444, and 444 ends up being 6 U.S. code 444 and 26 U.S. code 444, and 26 U.S. code 444 deals with taxes, and the taxes, and the first one is law and legal stuff, definitions. So yeah, that's your 444, and that takes you through going forwards in your random hits. And then as you start to come backwards, you've got 444 already, so you take 444. You got 4444 already. Now you got 4449, and that ends up being MIR 4449, microRNA in humans. Genetics hit, right? But it's random. We didn't get that randomly, or with genetics. 4449 also is HGNC 4449. Hugo, gene, committee, a gene committee. I can't. I'm a victim of my own handwriting, guys. Let's take a look. Hugo Gene Nomenclature Committee. All right. So that's in there as well. Which is interesting to me because I'm thinking Desert Research Institute, right? And you got more genetic stuff popping up. Anyway, moving on, you also have, now you got 9655. That's your next four numbers in the sequence. And that ends up being SOC55 or SS or 55. Are you kidding me? Gene. SOC55 gene ID 9655. All right, so you got some more genetic stuff going on there. All right, my bad. Victimized by my own handwriting. And then interestingly enough, that's where it was, 9655. Also winds up being U.S. code, 10 U.S. code 9655, arms and ammunition agencies. And also 9655 ends up being fluoride ion selective electrode. And it's coded into that too, fluoride ion electrode with an expo body and non-replaceable crystalline membrane. So there's that. That other one must have been on the other page, guys, but I wrote it down. It's there. I'll have to find it for you, around like page 3 or something. The gene idea, the gene. So we'll find that and get a link up. And that got you through 9655, and you're left with 233. And 233 had a few things going on with it, guys. 233 ended up being 42 U.S. Code 233, Civil Actions and Proceedings. 233 ends up being Form 233, Bureau of Fiscal Services, so there's a finance thing. 233 ends up being OECD Library, Test number 233, Sediment Water, chironomide life cycle. So there's some more waterheads for your Desert Research Institute, right? 233 also, it runs through Electromechia Acta Volume 233, graphene solar cells. We're using graphene for solar cells. Now that's interesting because a guy that I work with actually told me to look for because I was telling him about our searches, and he told me to look for graphene, but it hadn't come up yet. Well, now it has a couple of times, actually. This would be the second time I've seen it. The first time didn't seem all that relevant to what I was searching, but this certainly does. Desert Research Institute, using graphene for solar cells. All right. Then also you have 233 ends up being prescription drug abuse, and it's a grants guide. So I didn't really read on it. I just saw grants guide and prescription drug abuse and thought, whoa, Desert Research Institute. Now that got you through going forwards and backwards with random hits. And then I took, this is where it got interesting, guys, because I took that 33559944. You remember those double numbers that I underlined? Right there, 33559944, and I took those and I ran them in genetics and chemical forward, 33559944, and they both came back the same. Ends up being pharmacological reviews, FDA, chemical and genetic. They both came back the same, forwards. And I found that to be interesting. And it's just pushing me to this Desert Research Institute, guys. It's pushing me there. And then I ran the thing, the same sequence, randomly, and got 33559944, and got random regions for 1% project, UCSC genome browser. And I'll provide the link. And so that got, and that's just taking those double, that pattern, 335566 or 9944. And now, oh, and also it ended up being, excuse me, now I took the sequence backwards, guys, 44995533. All right. And I ran it through genetics and chemicals, and it came back the same again. And this time it was a clinical study on the tolerance of a liposomal povidone iodine. And that was the same chemical and genetic. Interesting, right? It did the same thing going forwards with a pharmacological study. Imagine that. And then I ran that same thing, 44995533, randomly, and got an online encyclopedia of integer sequences. Was pretty much all that came up, and I'm not sure the relevance, but it's there. The stock market stuff, right? Those calculations and such. So, real interesting stuff here, guys. I haven't ran the numbers against the companies yet, and I haven't done the latitude, longitude stuff yet. But yeah, that's a lot of interesting stuff there, and it's the Desert Research Institute that I think has a quantum computer, guys. We're pretty much through this, and even no matter what those numbers come back run against everything, even if it didn't fit the pattern, at this point there's to me an overwhelming amount of evidence pointing to the Desert Research Institute, regardless of what we get in the couple of searches we have left, there's just so much evidence in these that point back to these guys. And so we'll see what happens. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. We're going to try something a little different. Well, we're going to try to shoot our video tonight about the weird thing that happened to both me and my fiance at separate times that should never happen, but apparently it does for some reason. And that's a weird one. So you might want to check that out when we come out with it in the next day or two. We also saw a video that Moneybags did today on Sherwin Williams and Sherman Williams. All right. And he had some interesting residue. My fiance and I both remember Sherwin Williams. Neither one of us remember Sherman Williams. But we got to reading some of the comments, and we saw some guy trying to be like, oh, well, this person misremembered it, and it's miswrote on Facebook, and he was trying to just say people mistype stuff and think wrong, basically. Not Mandela affected. He was asked if he was Mandela affected. He wasn't. All right, guy. Well, I'm sure he doesn't watch our channel. That's fine, but just for that, we want to look into Sherwin Williams. Plenty of residue, even though it's not an effect for us. My fiance asked me this morning, we could try to decode that, right? I'm going, well, I don't know. It's still a paint company. They still sell paint. It's mostly the same. I remember Sherwin Williams. She remembers Sherwin Williams. Her dad was a painter. And she remembers Sherwin Williams. But we're both younger. I mean, I'm 41. She's 34. And something like that. Yeah, 34. Oh, man, I ain't reshooting the video. 34. And Moneybags, I believe, is older than us. So it could have changed before our time is basically the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, we want to try to decode that. It would end up being nothing but I think your SHER would cancel out, and your N would cancel out, and all you'd have would be MAWI would be your extraction letters from that if all you were doing was taking the name change. And see what you got. We're going to try it and just see what happens with it too, on top of the other things we want to get done. So that's going to be it for now, guys. Sorry to ramble there at the end. This was really about decoding Star Wars and running the numbers through random hits and our sequence of double numbers. That was really interesting, I think. It both came back the same on genetics and chemical, and they were both studies, one by the FDA. Sure, why not? Coincidence? Probably not. All right, guys. So for now, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, subscriptions. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And when you watch this, baby, sorry I had a brain glitch. And on your age. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.